Sharpen all the edges that I hide, I'm a liar. See my body licking up the flames from the fire. They can never kill me, so they seal me even tighter. Who remains without 40 in the strength? I'm a fighter, 50 in the faith. Take me higher, I'm a riser, but my demons like the tide. Blood moon in my eyes. Blood moon, white fang, light blue, my stains, night flame. Then we got into realms, yeah, yeah. Sun breath hit my wrist, blade fall like the mistake. Hairs like a peak, yeah, yeah. Malachite, turn a tarnish to a gray side, yeah. Kiss of death, but I miss the way it tastes like, yeah. Through the frenzy and the flame, I keep the honor beside me. This faith will abide me, we're burning the tree. Sharpen all the edges that I hide, I'm a liar. See my body licking up the flames from the fire. They can never kill me, so they seal me even tighter. Who remains without 40 in the strength? I'm a fighter, 50 in the faith. Take me higher, I'm a riser, but my demons like a tide. Blood moon yellow in my eyes. War horse in the crypt, a nightmare, great sword on my hip, in my eye. I'm a riser, but my demons like a tide. Blood moon yellow in my eyes. But don't wish for walls to talk. They scream until I left the room. Blood writing on the walls tells me I'm born inside a tomb. I don't cower, I just power back. Water breathing got me feeling like I swallowed glass. Form 11, lose the weapon, you don't see it. If you spy it, never try it, they can deflect. Weep what I saw, but I'm grim when I don't see the curse on the corpse. I'm a scourge, I'm the worst. Before the falling, I could bear this burden. 100 days ago, I found my purpose. Sharpen all the edges that I hide, I'm a liar. See my body licking up the flames from the fire. They can never kill me, so they seal me even tighter. Who remains without 40 in the strength? I'm a fighter, 50 in the faith. Take me higher, I'm a riser, but my demons like a tide. Blood moon yellow in my eyes. War horse in the crypt, a nightmare, great sword on my hip, in my eye. I'm a riser, but my demons like the tide. Blood moon yellow in my eyes. Sharpen all the edges that I hide, I'm a liar. See my body licking up the flames from the fire. They can never kill me, so they seal me even tighter. Who remains without 40 in the strength? I'm a fighter, 50 in the faith. Take me higher, I'm a riser, but my demons like the tide. Blood moon yellow in my eyes. Blood moon, white fang, light blue, my stains, night flame. Then we got into realms, yeah, yeah. Sun breath hit my wrist, blade fall like the mistake. Hairs like a peak, yeah, yeah. Malachite, turn a tarnish to a gray side, yeah. Kiss of death, but I miss the way it tastes like, yeah. Through the frenzy and the flame, I keep the honor beside me. This faith will abide me, we're burning the tree. Sharpen all the edges that I hide, I'm a liar. See my body licking up the flames from the fire. They can never kill me, so they seal me even tighter. Who remains without 40 in the strength? I'm a fighter, 50 in the faith. Take me higher, I'm a riser, but my demons like a tide. Blood moon yellow in my eyes. War horse in the crypt, a nightmare, great sword on my hip, in my eye. I'm a riser, but my demons like a tide. Blood moon yellow in my eyes. But don't wish for walls to talk. They scream until I left the room. Blood writing on the walls tells me I'm born inside a tomb. I don't cower, I just power back. Water breathing got me feeling like I swallowed glass. Form 11, lose the weapon, you don't see it. If you spy it, never try it, they can deflect. Weep what I saw, but I'm grim when I don't see the curse on the corpse. I'm a scourge, I'm the worst. Before the falling, I could bear this burden. 100 days ago, I found my purpose. Sharpen all the edges that I hide, I'm a liar. See my body licking up the flames from the fire. They can never kill me, so they seal me even tighter. Who remains without 40 in the strength? I'm a fighter, 50 in the faith. Take me higher, I'm a riser, but my demons like the tide. all the edges that I hide, I'm a liar. See my body licking up the flames from the fire. They can never kill me, so they seal me even tighter. Who remains without 40 in the strength? I'm a fighter, 50 in the faith. Take me higher. I'm a riser, but my demons like the tide. Blood moon, yellow in my eyes. Blood moon, white faint, bright blue, my stains like flame. Then we got into rooms, yeah. Sun breath hit my wrist, blade fall like the mistake. Cares like a peak, yeah. Malachite, turn a tarnish to a gray side, yeah. Kiss of death, but I miss the way it tastes like, yeah. Through the frenzy and the flame, I keep the honor beside me. This faith will abide me, we're burning the tree. Sharpen all the edges that I hide, I'm a liar. See my body licking up the flames from the fire. They can never kill me, so they seal me even tighter. Who remains without 40 in the strength? I'm a fighter, 50 in the faith. Take me higher. I'm a riser, but my demons like a tide. Blood moon, yellow in my eyes. War horse in the crypt. A nightmare, great sword on my hip. Veil in my heart. I'm a riser, but my demons like a tide. Blood moon, yellow in my eyes. Don't wish for walls to talk. They scream until I left the room. Blood writing on the walls tells me I'm born inside a tomb. I don't cower, I just power back. Water breathing got me feeling like I swallowed glass. Form 11, lose a weapon, you don't see it. If you spy it, never try it.
And we are live with another one. Hello, all you BC WrestlePod nerds out there. And thank you for tuning in to another rendition of the Grapple Gurus, your BC WrestlePod PPV and PLE review show here on the conglomeration that is the BC WrestlePod Network. I am one of your hosts, Mikey, and joining me this evening is my partner in crime, the OG with the host with the mostest. Minnie is here. Hello, Minnie. Woo! It's been yes. I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat some food after this. But we are here to review WWE's Bad Blood PLE, which took place less than 48 hours ago. I don't think this year so far, I don't think I have ever seen a PLE so divisive on the, just in general, because either people love this or they hate this. There's like very few middle ground takes in this.
I haven't seen a lot of hate towards it. I've also seen a lot of like, holy shit from this one.
So we'll talk about it. We have 5 matches to talk about, as well as all the shenanigans that went down in between, because we also had like a promo segment, which, even though we'll get to it when we get there. But a little bit of housekeeping before we get into everything. So if you are new to the channel, welcome. Hi, how you doing? And thank you for joining us. We pretty much stream almost every single day of the week, except for Saturdays and Thursdays. We're pretty much here. We pretty much review everything. WWE, AEW, CMLL, ROH, TNA, And coming back this week, the NXT show is getting a little bit of a makeover, and we will be back to reviewing NXT as well starting this week. Now that it's on the CW, it's a whole different ball game. It is kind of getting crazy since NXT is now traveling across the country again, which is please hoping it will make a stop somewhere near me. But anyways, you can follow us all over the social medias at BC WrestlePod. We're pretty much anywhere and everywhere. We are on the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, the TikTok. We also are a part of Next Level, where we have all of our social medias from that I mentioned to the YouTube, to the Twitch. We also have a Patreon where, we want to interact. So hopefully we can get there. So this is a lot of fun.
We can find our feed pics on that one.
I mean, yes, if you want to see the crazy behind the scenes shenanigans and feet pics and also the scripts for the shows, apparently you can sign up for the Patreon and yeah, it's fun.
You guys are getting scripts?
Shh. Yeah, you're not getting them from Triple H and all them?
No.
I got
to been winging it.
Ooh. I should probably let Hunter know. Anyways, but the last thing that I want to talk about too, we also have merch, so you can support us by buying some really cool merch. It's really fantastic. Link in the description below. And then finally, because it is a new thing we are doing, before we jump straight into our review this evening, outside of our regular weekly shows, these are the specials that we have going on this month. We are reviewing Bad Blood tonight. Next Monday, the AEW crew will be doing Wrestle Dream. Then the following Thursday, so a couple days later, myself and Andrew will be doing the next big GCW thing, which is Fight Club, which is super exciting. Then we have our first of 2 watch-alongs this month, where we will be watching night 2 of MLP's Fortune Excellence, a lot of Ring of Honor, AEW, and TNA crossover there, with the review with myself and Will on Thursday, October 24th. And then we end the month of October with a banger, which on Saturday, October 26th, myself, Andrew, and Will be doing a live watch-along for TNA's Bound for Glory, with the review being on October 27th. And then to prepare everybody for Spoopy season and Halloween, on Monday, October 28th, you can catch me and a mystery person reviewing NXT's Halloween Havoc. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Well, now that we've gotten all that out of the way, Minnie, we are here to review Bad Blood. So coming from Hotlanta, Georgia, as the kids say. And this is a 5-match card. And let's just jump straight into it after we get to the opening segment. And we watch Cody Rhodes walking backstage as part of said opening segment with Atlanta's own and producer extraordinaire, Mr. Metro Boomin. We kick off the show proper, as we were told like an hour before the pay-per-view started, with our Hell in a Cell match, where we have CM Punk taking on Drew McIntyre. This is the 3rd match in the trilogy of matches they've had. It started at SummerSlam, where Seth freaking Rollins guested as special guest referee, in which Drew McIntyre won that match. Then we fast forward all the way to Bash in Berlin, where CM Punk won the strap match. And then everything came to blows in this match as the blow-off match between this feud. Prepare yourself, kids, because this match was easily the match of the night for me. This was a lot of fun. And I thought
Bad Blood. This match was bloody as hell.
Exactly. Punk was bleeding red. McIntyre was bleeding red.
McIntyre had to get staples in his head after this match.
Oh, yes. 16 staples, according to McIntyre, and he posted the picture to prove it. This match was a lot gnarly. And you know what? I'm going to be honest, Minnie. I wasn't sure of how bloody WWE would let these two get, given that we're still currently in the PG era. But what I think this match did was not only this is exactly what Bad Blood's supposed to be, where feuds go to be blown off, so to speak. But I think this is also preparing us for whatever the heck we're getting with Raw being on Netflix starting in January. But this match was everything I wanted. Minnie, what did you think of this match? And then what were some of your highlights that you enjoyed?
The bump that McIntyre took on the steps after the dodged Claymore. Oh my Lord, that boy lost his he lost his Sonic rings on that one. He took that bump hard. Apparently, the bit where Punk hits McIntyre in the head with the toolbox is when he split him open really, really bad. That's why he had to get the staples.
I
And
thought so. Yeah.
the funny thing is, I saw a tweet. I think it was earlier today or yesterday of them talking about that, and Ryback retweeted it and he quoted it. And he goes, "I feel like the wrestler who did this is very unprofessional and very unsafe to work with."
I'm like, oh, Ryback.
Ryback did, but yeah, no, this match was awesome. This is where I saw most of the hate for this card because people wanted this match to be the main event. They feel like because the Hell in a Cell match normally is normally towards the end of the card, but it's opened up the card.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like that's where I saw a lot of the hate. But I mean, you can't have Roman's return match be anywhere other than the main event. So it's like, yes, unfortunately, it just happens to happen on the same card that Roman is coming back the first time in a match since Mania. Which we'll get to that because that man has some aura. This match is awesome. If you want to watch any match individually from this card, I would say watch this one.
Oh,
this match
absolutely.
was awesome.
Oh, absolutely. And to kind of like give my thoughts a little bit too, I think just because of the symbolism and I love good storytelling, I loved that the bag of beads got brought out and Punk literally made Drew McIntyre eat it before delivering a chained up knee go to sleep for the win. This match was awesome. This was easily my match of the night, and I have to go back because this is probably somewhere in my favorite matches of the year so far. And hey, we've been getting spoiled with awesome cage matches. AEW got one between Swerve and Hangman at All Out. We're getting this one. It's a good time to be a wrestling fan, and we can like what we like, and we don't need to compare. But Punk wins this one. He is ultimately the winner of said feud. So these two boys are going to be going on to wherever they're going to go, to which is leading to Survivor Series. So we'll see what's in store. But what a way to open up Bad Blood. This match ruled so much.
Oh, dude, such a good match. Really good way to open up that card.
Oh, absolutely. So we move on, and immediately we do not waste any time with Bad Blood because then we get our second match, which is for the WWE Women's Championship, where we had Nia Jax defending her title against the challenger Bayley. So Nia and Bayley have been feuding since Bayley lost the title to Nia at SummerSlam. Nia won the Queen of the Ring to be able to get that match at SummerSlam. Bayley lost the title. And then for weeks, we've been having Bayley versus Nia and Tiffany. Naomi backs up Bayley in a number one contenders triple threat. Both of them pinned Nia, which then led to Bayley and Naomi fighting, in which Bayley got the best of Naomi. And that is why she got this match. And here we are. So
the continuity they keep in wrestling right now in WWE is fantastic. Do you remember when they're up in the little VIP booth? There's a ton of cameos in the little VIP booth right before this match. And they're talking about the match, and they go, somebody said to Bianca, "Hey, so what are you about to say about this match?" And Bianca's like, "Yeah," because she doesn't like Bayley at all.
She still has beef with Bayley, and I would be here for a Bianca Bayley feud at some point.
I'm just glad they like that was like remembered still after all this time. It's like, oh, that's awesome.
So I want to preface by saying this because if you have been watching us, you know that we like to be fair here, but we're not necessarily a fan of Nia Jax specifically when it comes to her promo skills. Her in-ring's getting a lot better. I will say there was a couple of misses, like when Nia tried to do the Hurricane off of Bayley, but it didn't go all the way through.
I don't know what that was.
But hey, you know what? It was kind of awesome. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but this was my second favorite match of the whole entire night. Only because I think that following up Hell in the Cell, both of the women were like, all right, this is Bad Blood. We got to like fight like each other owes the other lunch money. Because Bayley came out swinging in this one immediately. She's like, I want this championship. We're going to fight. And she fought with everything she had. And what I love too is that we continue to showcase Nia's like strength because she powerhoused Bailey for a good chunk of the first half of this match.
She did. The throwing her in the power bomb position and the proceeded to just throw. Oh my lord! Throw Bailey against the barricade. That looked like it hurt.
It probably did. Barry the Barricade got involved in this match, but this match was fun. And then it got to a point where Jessica Carr got in with the action too, because she got pulled in and Nia Jax squashed her.
Yeah.
And so she was out for a little bit. Bailey hits the rose plant. The crowd is counting. Jessica is still down. Then we hear it's Tiffy time. In which
everybody thought Tiffy was going to cash in. She missed the first briefcase hit. It looks like it was supposed to hit. It looks like it was supposed to hit, but she was too far away, and Bailey tried to sell it the best she could. I'm going to say Bailey tried her best.
She tried to sell it. Thankfully, the second one definitely connected. And what I love, too, is that Nia Jax pulled the Undertaker spot because she's flat on the ground. She's giving Jessica the briefcase, and then Nia Jax sits up like the Undertaker. And is so distraught at the fact that Tiffy might be trying to cash in after some going back and forth with Tiffany trying to reassure Nia Jax that wasn't the case. Tiffany ends up getting thrown out of the ring. Bailey gets onto the top rope to try to hit a move on Nia Jax. Tiffany throws her briefcase, in which Bailey throws it back. But that gives Nia enough of a leeway to grab Bailey and hit her with her finisher and then get the pin for 1, 2, 3. Bailey, unfortunately, does not win. Nia Jax is still your WWE Women's Champion, but we continue to fracture the relationship that is Tiffany and Nia, and the ending shot with Tiffany being very, very over Nia Jax's like shenanigans and whatnot. I'm excited to see where we go next with this because Tiffany is not having it anymore with Nia.
I'm hoping I see Bailey throw some more Samoan drops in there because she nailed one on Nia Jax.
Let's talk about that because that was my move of this match.
Nia, we like hate on Nia Jax. She sold the fuck out of that Samoan drop.
Listen, we're used to seeing Nia Jax hit Samoan drops, but Bailey effortlessly picked up Nia and gave her a Samoan drop, and I'm just like, we bring this up all the time.
Why can't it be me?
I know. Well, there's that. But I'm going to channel the professor a little bit. But Bailey, I feel like, doesn't get enough credit. Like when we talk about like the 4 horsewomen of Bailey's era, which is her, Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky. Bailey never comes up in the discussion. Bailey is so underrated and is so good. But yeah, that Samoan drop was insane. Though I figured Nia was going to retain, there was a small part of me that was like, you know what? Bailey might actually pull this out.
I
hope
she would have, to be honest with you, but that's just because I don't like Nia Jax. But
right now, the real question becomes: so it seems that who knows if what's going to happen? Bailey lost this one, so does she get another chance leading into Survivor Series? Do we maybe? Since Naomi beat Tiffany clean, does Naomi get a chance at Nia? Or
I feel like anybody who has another chance at their opponents, and this thing is like the whole point of Bad Blood, because like the whole thing for this one was like to end. The only people that have like any sort of like push to continue their feud is the main event people, because that's a whole other storyline that we're actually about to get into something more from that, which is smart because we'll get into it later how they separated things, but.
Yeah,
I feel like Bailey and Nia are done. Bailey's had her 2 rematches.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's going to be Naomi until Tiffy decides. Because I feel like Tiffany is going to cash in on Nia Jax. Everything is pointing that direction. Unless WWE is like, nah, fuck you, Liv Morgan. So I'm thinking she's going to. Nia Jax is going to push Tiffany. Tiffany's going to smack her in the face of the briefcase, cash it in, pin her 1, 2, hit her with the prettiest moonsault ever, and then 1, 2, 3, call it a day.
Yeah. So I said this to a friend of mine. I say this, and I was just like, Nia Jax, I think, is going to hold on to this thing, But I do not believe Nia is leaving 2024 still champion. I think before the end of the year, she is losing this title.
I think the furthest possibly she gets to it with it is Rumble. That's like about the extent I think she will go with this belt.
Right. But this match was awesome. I didn't know what's
wrong though. She could hold this motherfucker to Mania. She's being pushed as a dominant champ.
Right. Which is really nice to see, but this was a fantastic match. It definitely exceeded my expectations and then some. And so this was fantastic. So after this, we get a spot that has Xavier Woods with some of the WWE Universe with the new Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero video game. I love that
when it comes out.
That comes out. I think it comes out later this week. I think.
Yup. Here, I'm about to buy that mofo on Friday.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. I love that Xavier is being allowed to be more of his he was a nerdy video gamer, but now he's able to do more. We literally had a spot in the middle of this pay-per-view just to showcase his video game. So
my spoons.
So good. All right. So then after that spot, we get into our third match of the night. And this is the first part of the pay-per-view where I had some head-scratching questions.
This one was weird. Weirdly enough, this was like, I hate to say this because I love both these individuals as wrestlers. This was like the go to the bathroom match of the whole card.
So, okay, I want to say
weird to say, because none of these matches were actually bad, but this is the one I cared about the least.
You know what? For me, it's not that I didn't care about this match. It's just that I'm very puzzled. Well, I mean, in hindsight, it makes sense, but I'm very puzzled as to how we got this. And now it completely throws everything out the window of what's happening for Judgment Day.
I don't know, but this match, the match quality was great. Legitimately, it felt like Damian Priest punched the teeth down of Finn Balor's throat in that springboard spot. Match itself, hard-hitting, great match. Story-wise, it was the one that I wished that this one and the next match were flipped because I wound up missing the next match because I was at work and I had to take my group of kids to the dining for dinner. So that's the one I missed. I would prefer to watch that one over this one. But they needed a fifth match on the card, and I feel like we could have done something a little bit different. Like we could have done Miz R-Truth, and we would have cared about that one. I think a little bit more than this one,
right?
Because we've seen this match 1,000 times now. I think
it is. So okay, let's talk about how we got here with this one. So it's Damian Priest versus Finn Balor, and this has been going on since SummerSlam, where Finn turned on Damian and cost Damian his World Heavyweight Championship to Gunther, and then Rhea Ripley and Damian have been feuding with the Judgment Day. The Terror Twins were unleashed. And so Bash at Berlin saw the Terror Twins beat Liv and Dom. And then each of them got a separate match with the person that they have the biggest beef with. Damian with Finn and Rhea versus Liv, which we'll talk about later. I had a big issue with this because Damian won this match, and I love Damian Priest. But leading into this, we saw the Judgment Day beating up Damian the entire time. And then all of a sudden he can Damian goes God mode and then just beats.
Hey, this match was sponsored by Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. He went Super Saiyan. That's how he won.
Damian went to Super Saiyan 4 out of nowhere and beat Finn Balor.
That's not canon. That's not canon.
It's not canon. Fine.
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan.
That is very true.
When they go blue.
But the match itself was great. The in-ring was great. I just have an issue with how we got here. And I also kind of am perplexed as to how Damian won. Because once again, Finn Balor always is on the losing end. I was like, what the flip?
They wanted to end the rivalry with the face winning. That's my only thing probably with it. They wanted the face to win and they can move, hopefully, Damian Priest into some sort of title picture.
We'll see. So, okay, let's talk about this bit of news because it plays into this. So, as soon as this match was over and Damian was the winner, I was like, okay, I'm like, I don't think Damian should have won, but hey, you know what? I guess we'll see. We'll see how this leads into Survivor Series. we'll get the War Games match with Terror Twins and whoever else versus Judgment Day, because that's probably what's going to end up happening. And then we find out from news, thanks to Fightful, some other sources, that the Terror Twins are no longer going to be a thing moving forward, because they are splitting Damian and Rhea up, where Damian's going to go off and do his own thing now that he's finished his business with the Judgment Day, whereas Rhea still needs to get even with Liv. And so the Terror Twins are no longer going to be a thing, and that makes me sad, because I like Rhea and Damian as a team. But we'll see what happens with Damian and where he goes from here, because Monday Night Raw tonight is going to set a precedence, because Sammy is taking on Gunther for the World's Heavyweight Championship. Who knows what's going to happen with Damian, since he's no longer going to be going, against the Judgment Day. We don't know what's going to happen with the boys of Judgment Day, but I have a lot of questions. Time will tell, but I was definitely head scratching. I don't know how I feel about Damian winning, but all right then. Yeah.
It was a good match.
It definitely was, but this was a sign. I was like, okay, something. All right. Hopefully the next match is great. I didn't include any pictures of this because I just want to go through this. But before we get to our next match, after Finn and Damian, this is where we get a in-ring promo from Triple H. He talks about how Crown Jewel is coming up. And then this is where I went full Jackie Chan meme. And I was like, what the flip is this? So Triple H unveils a new championship. It is the Crown Jewel Championship. And this is going to go to one of our champions. I was like, okay, so have a little tournament. That's kind of cool. Whatever. We're not going to cover Crown Jewel, but hey, it gets more people on the card. Awesome. Triple H says that this title is going to be for the winner of a champion versus champion match. And I'm like, hang on, Triple H. What do you mean? We come to find out that at Crown Jewel, you're going to have your two singles men's champions and your two singles women's champions go up against each other. So as of right now, you're going to have Cody Rhodes versus Gunther and Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax. One of them is going to win. One of them is going to lose. And then I screamed at my television because I'm like, Triple H, what are we doing? I was like, somebody's going down and I don't like it.
I think Liv loses cleanly, and I think Cody loses due to shenanigans.
Yes, which, doesn't help the case, because I don't think any of our four main champions should be losing in this capacity. But then again, Crown Jewel has always been the way of shenanigans.
And Crown Jewel is like a non-canon thing.
I was just like, Hunter, what? You must have taken
it would have made more sense. They should have introduced the fucking women's, make Crown Jewel actually interesting. And would have made us probably watched it. If they would have done the women's mid-card belts.
Like, just have all the women in Saudi Arabia just, fight for that title.
Women's mid-card belts and have Jay versus LA Knight.
That would have been fun, but you know what? Oh my gosh. Hunter, I was like, what are we doing? And then everything that happened afterwards was also just a fever dream, because Gunther comes out, he cuts a promo, he first talks about how he's going to win this championship, how Sami Zayn's not going to beat him on Monday Night Raw, and then he roasts Goldberg, which then prompts Goldberg to get it, past Barry the Barricade, and then have a verbal argument with Gunther. And I'm just like, oh God, here we go. I was just like, so does Sammy win tonight? So we get Gunther versus Goldberg at freaking Crown Jewel. I'm like, what are we doing?
I hope it's a Gunther squash. I heard he just squashes Goldberg. Goldberg's I love Goldberg. He's an old man now, and Gunther's whole thing is just beating the fuck out of people.
Like, actually retire Goldberg. I'm just like, this was the weirdest part, and I was just like,
yeah. But the next match was cool. So we got Liv versus Rhea with a Dominic on a pole match.
So Minnie had mentioned he didn't watch this. I don't know if he
So I saw a couple things, right? I saw that Raquel Rodriguez came back to absolutely no reception, and I saw that Dominic almost died.
So Dominic, okay, so before we talk about the match, let's talk about how we got here. So this was for the Women's World Championship. Liv Morgan defending her title against Rhea Ripley. Again, this is also stemming from this is stemming from King and Queen of the Ring, because Rhea lost the championship to Liv there, and then Rhea lost and failed to recapture it at SummerSlam because Dominic finally turned on Rhea and helped Liv retain. And so Rhea has been going after Dominic and Liv, which then led to this match happening. And because Dominic always consistently is the force that allows Liv to win, he's going to be locked up in the shark cage, suspended above the ring. So therefore, there's no interference. So Liv and Rhea can just go one-on-one, nobody helping her. Now, here's what I will say. The match itself leading until like the last 7 minutes was actually really strong. Liv was looking fantastic. Rhea is always decimating her opponents as she should. But as soon as Dominic opened the cage and fell down like the human piñata, that's where things for me personally kind of went off the rails, because then this was a convoluted ending and I hated it. I absolutely hated this ending, because Rhea on the ref cam gets caught here saying it's like, because she's about to go out and normally you're supposed to do the 10 count, but she's like, hey, this is going to take a minute and then I'll bring her back in. And the ref's like, all right. So I was like, all right. So therefore we're blatantly disregarding the rules. All right. That's one. Rhea gets the kendo stick to go full pinata mode on Dom, which was funny to watch.
I did see that. That looked funny as hell.
But then this is where Raquel's return was ruined, because we can see her coming from the crowd. She throws Rhea to the ground. And I feel that, and according to what I heard from Fightful, is that Raquel was not told, because apparently they were going to change the way that Liv was going to win this match, but they did not tell Raquel, because originally Raquel was supposed to be the deciding factor with the ref distracted to help Liv win. But the ref saw Raquel come in and, Tahana bomb Rhea, which then caused the ref to have the bell rung. And then that's where Raquel grabbed Liv to pin her and then hold her up. This was a crap ending, and that sucked for everybody involved.
Yeah, a lot of miscommunication. I saw some things about that, and I was like, oh, I'm glad I kind of missed that then. Yikes.
Yeah, there was miscommunication here. Like, the ending was convoluted. Nobody told Raquel that they changed the way this was going to go down. This wasn't a horrible match, because I've seen worse this year. But this definitely was my least favorite match of the whole entire night, which sucks, because I love Liv. I love Rhea Ripley. On paper, this should have been good, and it was up until the last 7 minutes, and then it kind of just took the wind out of the sails. So I was like, damn, it's unfortunate for sure. I was so disappointed with this match, and it sucks because I love Raquel, and I know she's been battling her illness, and I was super happy for her to return. But this crowd was so unbothered, and I felt so bad for Raquel. But Liv Morgan retains her championship. Since the Terror Twins are now splitting up, it seems that Rhea is going to be going up against Raquel for a bit, which I am actually excited about. And then I think Rhea will eventually defeat Liv, because I think Liv is holding this championship until WrestleMania. So in the meantime, while Rhea is fighting Raquel, I think you have a filler feud, and I think you have Liv go up. I would love to see Liv and Zelina go at it again, because Zelina didn't get proper due when she went up against Liv for the championship. So have a small little feud for Liv, and then Rhea wins the Rumble, and then that match is set for WrestleMania.
Do we have her win 2 years in a row, though? Or no?
I mean, Cody won 2 years in a row.
No, the Women's Rumble was won by somebody else last year. Rhea was champion last year. Nia Jax, I think, won last year.
No, so because Royal Rumble winner last year. So the women's matches at Philly, it would have been Rhea and Becky.
I think no, because Becky won the Elimination Chamber.
Oh, that's right. So she got her match.
Was it Bayley? Bayley won.
Bayley won the Rumble last year, which then had her go up against
she beat Io.
Yeah. And then Elimination Chamber was won
by Becky, and then Rhea beat Becky at Mania.
You're right. So fantastic.
It's possible. I feel like Rhea should do something else.
Like keep her away from Liv and that whole entire thing a little bit for a while.
Yeah,
and then
have
come back
Liv,
to it.
Liv drop the belt to somebody else.
I heard a rumor that we might be getting an all women's War Games actually this year, and it's gonna be weird. Like we get
Liv,
Rhea,
Raquel, and somebody else.
Liv, Raquel, and Pure Fusion Collective, which is
Team
Scissor Kick, taking on Rhea and Damage Control, because reports are Asuka and Dakota are almost ready to return. So
nice.
I think that would be a fun matchup.
A crazy Japanese lady, a Samoan.
Listen,
and an Aussie.
Triple H, you need to have Io always be in a War Games match, because she is the only wrestler since we brought War Games back, starting in NXT and then brought it up to main roster for Survivor Series. Io has been in every single War Games match since they brought it back. So Io should always be a staple in this match, because she always ends up doing something crazy.
It's like Kofi in the Rumble.
Oh, exactly. Except the last 2 years, Kofi has been like not making his spots the way he should, which sucks for sure. So from here, before we get into our main event, the other big thing is that WWE takes some time to review all of the major stuff coming down the pipeline for the remainder of 2024 and 2025. We are getting Survivor Series happening in Canada at the end of November. Then, Rumble's going to be in Indianapolis. Then we get 2-night WrestleMania in Vegas in 2025, which the BC WrestlePod West Coast crew hopefully will get to do that. But then also, because they also announced this like last week, we are also getting a 2-night SummerSlam at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. So, Adolfo, I may be crashing at your house during the summer. So we'll see what happens with all of that.
The 2-night SummerSlam.
A 2-night SummerSlam at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. So I was like, hey, Adolfo, can I crash at your pad? So then, all right, Minnie, let's strap in, because then we get to our main event of Bad Blood. This is a tag team match where we have the enemy of my enemy is my best friend team of the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and the OTC, Roman Reigns, taking on the Bloodline 2.0, being represented by Solo Sikoa and the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu.
Okay, so I know we used to always bash on how long fucking Roman's entrance used to take, but the shot of the cameraman coming in between the orchestra as Roman was walking towards him with the pyro going behind him, that is the definition of aura.
I was just like, as somebody,
great shot.
That was money right there. I mean, Cody had the HBCU. Roman had a whole entire orchestra that included string instruments as well as some opera singers too. I'm mad at the audio people because they were fucking it up. I was like, oh, you fucked up the audio guys for this one. How dare you? But it was crazy to see how much over Roman is now that he's back, because everybody was booing him, and now that he's a quasi babyface, like, he got such a big pop, and it kind of overshadowed Cody a little bit, which, I'm not mad at. And Cody understands too.
We all knew he was going to overshadow Cody coming in this match. It's his first match back since Mania as a face, as like a weird tweener face heel guy. But mostly by the reaction of the crowd, people will think he's the John Cena. This dude came out. Cody started the match. When Roman got tagged in, everybody, when Roman looked at the crowd, turned around and stuck his hand out, and the Cody selling, looking at his hand to sell it. Oh, pure showmanship. Great. I was expecting Roman to do some sort of shenanigans with Cody, and he didn't, and that was dope.
So there were a couple of spots about this match before we talk about the ending, because that's where all hell broke loose in a way. Yep. The fact that Cody just full on dive from the top of the thing onto.
The funny thing is, last time Jacob Fatu did that to Cody, he hurt himself.
Yes. And Cody literally bounced off this man. I was like, he like bounced off Jacob when the impact happened. Thankfully, everybody's okay.
He hit him with the crossroads on the outside. And you can hear him yelling, "Stay down!"
Oh my gosh, I'm so
and he
happy.
got up and he put him on the table. Then he looked at Roman, saluted him, and hit him with the knife.
It was fantastic. So that's what started everything, because then back in the ring, you have Solo ready to, take out Roman. And of course,
Roman hit a crucifix.
That was crazy to watch.
Is he working with a Vikingo? Like, how did he, when did Roman learn to do that?
That was amazing. But then, of course, it wasn't long before the Gorillas of Destiny and Tama Tonga and Tongaloa come out to try to, cause shenanigans. Doesn't necessarily work. But then it becomes a 3-on-1 situation because Cody is down, Jacob is down, Solo's in the ring ready to take out Roman. The Gorillas of Destiny have no idea that standing behind them is a hooded, masked figure. And then once those super kicks started flying, I was like, oh, it's about to be on and popping.
It was
and
boy, no Yeats.
No
Uso.
Also, by the way, I want his shirt because it was just like, they ain't the ones. I was like, I want that t-shirt right now.
That's cool.
I want that shirt right now.
Dude, Jimmy was booked strong as hell. He was kicking everybody's face in. Watching Roman's face as Jimmy gets into the ring, Roman's like, I still have friends.
Be like, I have a family.
But like, yeah, you're the one.
Yeah, so Jimmy super kicks the Gorillas of Destiny, which is enough for Roman to hit his move, and he ends up pinning Solo, and Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns end up winning this match. So then afterwards, I love this even more. Jimmy and Roman hug it out, which was nice to see. The crowd popped for that.
Okay, really quick, I want to put this out. Jey Uso was in the VIP booth watching all of this.
Oh, it's gonna get juicy.
He's up in the VIP booth, going, yay.
He's chilling with Black Girl Magic and else too. He's also hanging out with Metro Boomin. Also, by the way, just as a small thing, we didn't really cover this because it would have been a lot, but there was a lot of legends in the building for Bad Blood.
DDP, who just signed a Legends contract.
I love DDP.
X-Pac was there. Goldberg was there. Lillian Garcia was there. Jacqueline was there.
Yeah, it was a whole. We had a Steiner. We had Mickie James, which I was super happy to see. I love me some Mickie James. Love her so much. But Jimmy and Roman hug it out. And then Roman grabs Cody's title because he was about to hand it back to him. He slowly looks at it. He looks at Cody, hands it back to him. And then, Jimmy and Roman lead, which prompts the Bloodline 2.0 to jump Cody. Roman is just like
everybody but Jacob Fatu, who has not gotten up yet.
No. So everyone's beating up Cody in the ring minus the Samoan werewolf. Roman is about to leave and say, nah, this is none of my business no more. But Jimmy's like, bro, you gave him his word. Y'all need to get back up in there. Which then had Jimmy and Roman go in, solidifying Roman to be more babyface for defending Cody. Then after the Bloodline 2.0 scatter, Cody and Roman kind of have a moment of understanding the situation.
Mutual respect.
And then if you smell, I was like, oh shit, here we go.
I was like, is this The Rock or is this? And then I saw the Final Boss music start to play. I'm like, oh, this is Final Boss Rock.
So Final Rock
with the Brahma belt.
And he comes out. This crowd was absolutely losing their gourd. And this was kind of nuts. So The Rock looks at Cody and Roman and then does the 3 thing, which symbolically tells us that Cody is about to get his ass beat because he took Rock's Mania match, he took Roman's title, and he defeated the Bloodline. So Rock is coming for Cody, which is
so when this was happening, there's footage of Solo talking to Jacob Fatu going, it's all part of the plan. It's all part of the plan.
So
what's the plan, Solo? What's the plan? Huh? What's the plan, Solo? Dude, there was that, and then there was the other fan cam moment, which we'll get to here in a second.
We'll talk about that at the very end in a little bit, but yeah, that
it was a risk that WWE took to do this, but I think it was smart.
So this is definitely building to Roman and Rock probably being team captains of the Survivor Series teams. And so it's about to be a bloodline civil war, I think. Or who knows? We'll see what happens.
Roman beats Cody and we're going to have Rock run Roman at Mania.
Hey, you know what? Crazier things have happened, but regardless, I have no idea what is going to be the final card for Survivor Series because we have to get past Crown Jewel first. But honestly, I'm excited that I don't know or I can't predict what's going to happen because now I'm along for the ride. Now, speaking of how things are going to pan out, because there was this, and then of course the show ends and everything. But then, thank you, Wrestling Internet.
So they did this on purpose. Now WWE purposely did this. We all know that. But during the post conference, Triple H said that Cody couldn't be there. We're like, why can't Cody be there? He just had a match. We're like, come on, he has to be there. Turns out, footage was released at the tour bus. Cody and KO were talking. They get to an argument. KO beats the fuck out of Cody Rhodes.
KO has officially turned heel.
Went full heel turn behind the scenes, off camera. Right? So some people were upset about that, but I'm like, okay, no, that's smart because it's like behind the scenes shenanigans, but it also separates Cody from bloodline stuff.
For a little bit at least.
So we can set up the OTC versus the weekday. So we can set that up and have that go into Survivor Series and post Survivor Series. I feel like it's going to go a little bit longer than that. And Cody can deal with the aftermath of having the team with Roman Reigns, with KO, and possibly Randy as well. Orton. And maybe even Jay, who'll be like, why the fuck do you team with Roman? With all the allies he like assembled for his Avengers for last year's Mania and have to like deal with the aftermath. Like, you just teamed with Thanos.
It's really interesting because there's going to be a lot of people that Cody is going to make mad. So KO, Ranty, and then on Raw, Jay, and then don't forget, Seth is probably also going to get mad at Cody too.
Well, what I just saw is Cody is on Raw this week. They just showed that, but Seth came out and interrupted CM Punk. Just saw that. Also, Braun Breaker is killing everybody,
as he should. But Braun Breaker
apparently his spear is not called a spear. According to the announcers, it's called a super spear.
All right, well, sure, that's fine. But oh my goodness! But I loved this moment. I like to thank the internet for giving it to us. WWE is smart. Even Triple H, like a day later, is like, WWE is dealing with this internally, and we're gonna figure this out. And I'm like, the plot thickens.
Ooh, make it like a work shoot. Ooh, we love to see that.
Now I'm just like, all right, now I gotta watch SmackDown, see what happens with all of that, like figure out what's gonna happen.
It's like, holy shit, you're pushing your weekly shows on your pay-per-views?
That's crazy. Who would have thought of that?
Now I have to tune in to see the aftermath?
Now I'm excited. I get to watch a 2-hour Raw, and it will stay 2 hours until the end of the year.
2 hours SmackDown, and they're both going to be soap operas.
It's about to get crazy.
Professor, you're missing out.
I know, Professor. How dare you? I'm just kidding. Professor, we love you. Don't worry. We get to still talk about him at the very end of this. But Minnie, we have reached the end of our Bad Blood review. So let's go ahead and give our empanada ratings. I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. Despite my gripes, I thought this was a really fun show. And I think what really helped give it the grade of 7.5 for me was the fact that Rocket came back, but also like the social media, like behind the scenes stuff to get us interested into what's coming next for the weekly shows and what's coming down the pipeline. So Bad Blood was a lot of fun. Obviously, Drew versus CM Punk was match of the night for me, with Bailey and Nia taking up second place. So I give this like a 7.5, 8 out of 10 empanadas. What about you, Minnie? What do you rate Bad Blood?
It's getting 8 purely for watching Dominic get turned into a pinata. Even though I didn't watch the match, I saw the clips, and I'm like, that is hilarious. I love that.
The internet did its thing and did a lot of memes. Yep. I will say that entrance for Liv was kind of fire. I was like, I love me that lowrider.
So that's where I'm at with it. I like I actually kind of like the behind the scenes heel turn that they did. I thought that was pretty cool, actually. Because it's like, okay, now we got to tune in the Raw or SmackDown to figure out why he did it. What's the whole thing with that, and if Randy is involved. So I thought that was cool. It was the aura of Roman Reigns is at full effect. We figured out finally what it takes to take down fucking Jacob Fatu. It takes a crossroads and then a splash through a table to finally get him to stay down for more than 30 seconds. A lot of miscommunications, though, a lot of botches. But I feel like people just got really excited and was trying to do too much. So but overall, solid pay-per-view. Who was our prediction master for this one?
All right, so we're going to end this by looking at our predictions league. So the first score you're about to see for each of us is our final record for Bad Blood, and then I've added them together. So we're going to go from third all the way to first, but in third place with a Bad Blood record of 3-2, that would be me. Professor got 4-1, and Minnie for the second PLE in a row for WWE got a full clean sweep of 5-0. Which means now that the overall records have been updated, in third place still is the Professor, but because he did so well this one, with the overall record of 22-10, I am in second place, but the Professor is right behind me because I have a record of 23-9, which means if I keep screwing up, I will find myself in last place. And then pulling ahead in first for WWE Predictions League with an overall record of 25-7 is, Minnie, aka the Evan-nator, who is currently sitting at the top of the pedestal on the predictions throne, if you will. So, Minnie, good job, dude.
10-0, the last two PLEs, baby.
Bro, I gotta figure out because
the Booker hat.
For reals. I do not want to end up in a wrestling singlet for a week of reviews because nobody is ready for
it's going to be live, baby. We're going to be together in person when WrestleMania gets here.
I'm going to have to wear it during the reviews during the Hell Week. Oh, God, please no. But this is exciting. This is really close.
I want my belt.
I know. And for those of you who are like, what are you guys talking about? So each of the brands, WWE, AEW, and TNA, and ROH, to a certain extent, because there's only 3 pay-per-views for ROH, we have a predictions lead for the pay-per-views. The winner by the end of the pay-per-view year for the promotions will get a little predictions championship belt. And then the loser will have to do a week of reviews in a wrestling singlet. So everything, you can't hide all that which lies inside is what is the best way to put it. So it's somebody is going to end up in a onesie, and if we have the same losers or last place people, it's going to be weeks plural of them in the singlet. It's about to get crazy.
Put myself in shape just in case I start choking and lose.
That is so crazy. But that is going to be it for this episode of Grapple Gurus. So thank you so much for tuning into our WWE Bad Blood review. We are going to be back this week with our weekly shows. We have tomorrow night, we have our AEW review where we talk about all the AEW shows. And then we make our predictions because Wrestle Dream is this Saturday. So we'll also be doing our predictions. Hey, shout out to the Undisputed Truth in the chat, my man. Thank you for returning. Look, in a true crossover, Jimmy Uso and ROH would be nuts.
Jimmy Uso to Ring of Honor.
But we need those forbidden doors to be open. But who knows? Now that since NXT and TNA are playing like partnership, who's to say that other promotions won't? But like I said before, AEW is tomorrow, where we review this past week at AEW and make our predictions for Wrestle Dream. Wednesday night we are going to be debuting our NXT review show. Now that it's being rebranded for CW, we've rebranded the NXT show. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And you can also catch CMLL later that same evening. On Friday, we have a doubleheader of Ring of Honor and TNA now that the hurricane didn't ruin those tapings like last week. And then we are ending the week on Sunday with our WWE Dual Dynasty review as we begin the build to Crown Jewel and ultimately Survivor Series. But Minnie, thank you so much for being here, my friend. I am so happy I didn't have to do this pay-per-view by myself. So I am super excited. But that is going to be it for us here at Grapple Gurus. From myself, Minnie, In Spirit, the Professor, and the rest of the BC WrestlePod family. Remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay Bi-Conic, but more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We'll catch you tomorrow for the AEW review. But until then, sayonara, adios, and Minnie, tell the folks why we review wrestling. We'll catch you tomorrow. Ta-ta for now.